Oshio, Shalom. Hello, my friends. This is me again. So gonna continue this testimony that I have begun, and trying to tell about all what Jesus has done for me. I tell you, it makes it difficult for a person just to have, for just 9 or 10 minutes to do this. But here we go. We're gonna finish. As I was saying on part 2, how that I was out in the woods, and it was really hilly and everything, and out there, and man, I can tell you, it was something. When you're out there scared, you want to get out, you're afraid you're going to get killed, and at one point, but yet you just don't care. You really just want to die, but you want to try to make an escape and things like this. But I remember there was some wild dogs, and I'm not talking about 2 or 3. I think there was anywhere like it was about 8, might have been 11 of them. But I'll tell you this: it was more than 5 of them. But I remember, these dogs were different sizes, but there was some of them pretty big size. I think there was one. It was a Saint Bernard. Because you had the base out there, and some of those animals got loose, and when they get together, you know how dogs are. They're just a white go nuts, especially if you're out in the woods. And I was literally, there was this one little clearing area that I happened to be in, and it was like being in a target, like I am dead center of this area, and then hear all these dogs coming up, and I'm surrounded, and I can't run fast. You know how fast dogs run, and trying to think you're going to outrun them. Forget it, and especially the shape I was in. There was just no way, and I tell you, I just knew that it was hopeless. I tried to look to see if there was any rocks, sticks. There was nothing there. So I had just dropped down on my knees and sit there and just closed my eyes and just was expecting them, waiting for them to get me. Just waiting for it. And I tell you, that's one of the things that I guess a worst fear for anybody is to be mauled alive by, whether it's dog, bear, cat, doesn't matter. No one wants to go through that, but I was just expecting it. I was just waiting for it. But I did not know that at that very same moment, my father, he had a feeling, and he had got a hold of the preacher, the pastor, and then all the saints in the church and others to start praying for me. Because, they already knew I'd had some problems, but there was something that bothered them that particular day. So they prayed. They were praying, and I tell you, if you would have been there as sitting off to the sideline and watching it, you'd have said, he's a goner. But I'll tell you what, as I sit there with my eyes closed, just expecting for him to get me, I sit there and I heard these dogs yelping and hollering like someone had beat them and struck them and hurt them, and I'm sitting there still waiting, and then next thing you know, I open my eyes, and I look, and the last thing I see, just their little tails their tails off, as they're fleeing like a hunter or somebody was after them, like, I tell you, it was, I didn't know what to do, but I was very grateful. But God answers prayers. And I'll tell you, if it wasn't for God and someone that prayed, I would have been dead then. And I know that was the Lord. And you couldn't convince me any other way. And and there was many other things that God did for me, after that. But I want to, before I tell you the other testimonies, things that God did for me, I just want to start on this video, part 3. I just wanted to want you to know that if you're feeling that God don't answer prayers, or He does. Remember, He don't always work on your time. It's always His time, and His time is the right time. And a lot of people, they think, well, I see too many bad things. Why God does this and all this? Well, first of all, if you're always looking for the bad things, you're never going to find anything good. So you're always going to end up blaming someone else, but you can't even face the facts that, just because you're miserable don't mean that you got to blame God for everything. And just because you don't understand something does not mean that you still got to blame God or say that it don't work this way. See, God does many things. He says in His Word that He don't think the way we think. His thoughts are not our thoughts. I mean, our thoughts are not His thoughts. And our ways are not His ways. You can't compare Him, an omnipotent God. You cannot compare Him to a human being, to our level, when He's far beyond. In fact, when He is the one who created us. But the thing is, God does hear. He hears prayer. He listens. And sometimes it might not seem like He does, but He does. He's there. But I know, see, my mind was not on God that day. My mind was everywhere, just knowing I was going to die. And I'm glad I didn't die that day. And I thank the Lord for it, and He does listen to prayers. So you think about that. God is great and He's good, and someone can be praying for you right now, or you can be praying for someone that you know. And pray, believe, know that it's all in His hands. He can do it. And if He don't do it right when you think He should, don't worry. He'll do it in His time, because His time is always right. But He will. But don't ask foolishly. Don't ask selfishly. Think of others before yourself. So, again, I'll have some testimony on a part 4. And God bless you. Oshio. Shalom.